All right, everybody, so finally I'm back with the 2018 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, and I gotta hand it to my team. They got it PDI'd and everything very quickly, so all that plastic and stuff that you saw before, it's all gone and it's ready for us to drive and everything. I still haven't driven it, but at least this time I can come back and give you a full-length video on the 2018 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport and go over some of the features and the new options that they have for the 2018 model year. Just like I said in my previous video, starting off on the front end, they did away with the kind of bar slat type of grille and they put the mesh back from the older Outlander Sports. Sorry it's so windy, just kind of bear with me. And then they did this one bar here that goes across to the Mitsubishi logo. And then down here you have the LED daytime running lamps. Same headlamp and fog lamp array. You can get LED fog lamps, you can still get the HID headlamps. The GT trim level is gone for 2018, so the highest you can go is the SEL. And the SEL will also have an optional touring package for it, and that's going to combine forward collision mitigation, lane departure warning with rear cross traffic alert as you're reversing, and the panoramic glass roof and the Rockford Fosgate audio system. That's really the only major change that I can think of off the top of my head. So we're moving around the side, and of course you still get the 18-inch aluminum alloy wheels. And then here in the back, you see they did change up the rear lower fascia. They also added this chrome bar above the tail lamps that connects the two. And I gotta say, I really like it. One of the things that I really like is that rectangle that housed the fog lamp. On the European models, American models didn't get that, so we had this rectangle blank that just sat in the middle of the bumper, and it looked kind of awkward, especially if you didn't know what it was for. And that's now gone on the 2018s. And also those circular reflectors that used to stick out, protrude out from the bottom corners of the bumpers, those are also gone as well. And you get these C-shaped reflectors that blend in to this kind of slit in the bumper, and then below that you get this cool rear diffuser. And this is really going to blend in when we get the 2018 Eclipse crosses in stock. You're going to see a family resemblance between this and the rear end of that vehicle as well. So I think Mitsubishi did a good job on cleaning it up and everything. And of course you can see the backup camera. Now that's standard, and I'm still going to make that video on the new 7-inch touchscreen display that's going to be standard on all 2018 models, including the Mirage. Sorry about that, there was a helicopter going above me. So it's going to be standard on all 2018s to include the Mirages, the G4 and the hatchback, the Outlander, the 7-passenger Outlander, and the Outlander Sport. So we'll definitely be getting acclimated with that here as the model years go on, until each model receives its major redesign for sure. So this is the Rally Red exterior paint, and of course the shark fin antenna carries over from 2017. The alloy wheels, all that good stuff still carries over. This is an SE trim level, so that means we do have Mitsubishi's fast key, so you press this black button to either enter or exit the vehicle, and it will unlock or lock the doors accordingly. And I kind of gave y'all a preview in my last videos. It was a mess because they weren't PDI'd, but I wanted to get you guys the information and just give you guys the visuals because I'm super excited about this interior. It's a huge improvement. So we have this silver painted panel where the window switches and everything are, the mirror adjustments and the door locks, and then you get this chrome bit here, and this was on the 2006, even the 2015s I believe, and everything, but this is now a vinyl, so it's going to wear a little bit better and it's going to be easier to clean. So I definitely like that improvement. Now moving on to my absolute favorite part of the whole interior, these seats are phenomenal. So this is a vinyl material. This part and this part here, the side bolsters on the top and the bottom are like this vinyl material, and then there's like this suede material on the insert, and it's got this cool red stitching, and it goes really well with this red paint. So it's really awesome, and it looks more modern. I won't say it feels premium. It feels about the same materials you would find in, you know, its competitors like the Chevy Trax, the Honda HR-V, but it looks so much more modern than what we had in the Outlander Sport. I absolutely love it. And then on the rear, you get it on the bench as well. and it just looks phenomenal. I love it. It looks more modern. It feels great. It doesn't feel like chintzy fabric or chintzy vinyl. It looks like it's gonna wear really well, especially, you know, rubbing on these vinyl parts. Looks like it's gonna stay clean for a long time, and it just looks phenomenal. Like, I can't get over how well it looks. So you still have this fold down armrest here. They did take our pass-through. If you remember the earlier models, this actually folded down to allow a pass-through for longer items like skis and rugs and things. They took that away from us, I want to say in like 2013 or 14. The first time that they introduced leather, they actually took it away from us, which I think was in 2014 on the limited edition we had back then. By the way, we will have another limited edition for the 2018. So if you like the black wheels and the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay and HID headlamps and the heated seats, we're going to have all that coming back for 2018 on the Outlander Sports, and also the Outlander. I'll do a separate video on that as well once we get them. And so this houses the cup holders, and it's a nice armrest for the rear passengers. And I'll hop inside so we can get rid of some of this wind noise. So nice and quiet in here. Let me go ahead and start it out so you can see some of the features. So the instrument cluster is pretty much the same. You get Mitsubishi's high contrast meters with the trip computer between the gauges. Same familiar stuff. The steering wheel is also the same and familiar. Sorry about that. With this black piano piece here. I do wish they would have made this open, but you know, we can't wish for everything. But I just feel like it would be a little bit more cooler if this was open and you could stick your fingers through it. I don't know. And we do have the audio controls on the steering wheel with voice control. So I do want to talk about the ES trim level for a little bit. The ES trim level is our base trim level. That one will have that 7-inch touchscreen that I talked about earlier. But on ES's, this voice control button is gone. And the reason why that's gone is because the ES's don't have voice control via Bluetooth. So the older ones had this button, but it didn't do anything. And so people would push it and it just wouldn't do anything. So a lot of customers were confused. So Mitsubishi took that feedback and just did away with it in the ES's. Since this is an SE, you do have that voice control button because you do have the voice control via Bluetooth. And if you long press on this while you have your Android phone or your Apple phone, you can activate the Google Assistant or Siri if you long press it, and then you can do voice searches while you're driving. So you can literally say, hey Siri, give me the address or navigate me to that sushi bar down the road or whatever, and that'll come up while you're driving. So it'll be a little bit easier on you. So that way you're not distracted while you're driving. Of course, cruise control is standard on all of our trim levels and everything. So bringing your attention to this screen here, this is the same high definition screen that was on the Outlander and has been on the Outlander for a while now, since about 2016, and those debuted at the end of 2015. So we've seen this screen before, but this is the first time it's been on the Outlander Sport. So turning it on and turning it down, because it sounds rather loud, we can go to the home and we can see that it is a high resolution touchscreen. It's very snappy. It does have Sirius XM satellite radio. You can pause, record live music on satellite radio up to a certain amount of minutes. I forget how many that is off the top of my head. And what's cool about it is you can enter in, I love channel 52. That is my favorite. And so as you can see, of course, they're mixing and doing everything that they do on this channel. But it's one of the things that I love about it is its clarity. It feels like a head unit that should be in something way more expensive. It's kind of out of the ordinary for Mitsubishi, and I know that's going to sound like I'm kind of putting Mitsubishi down, but Mitsubishi hasn't always had the best head units in their vehicles. Sorry, Mitsubishi. But this is definitely a step in the right direction. You know, obviously, some competitors have screens in them the size of iPads and iPad Pros, but I really think that this is fitting of a vehicle in this price range and everything. So I really like this. It's nice and clear, it sounds great, it's snappy, there's no lag. It's capacitive touch, so you can swipe, you can pinch, you can, you know, touch, tap. The only thing it does not have is haptic feedback, so it does not vibrate as you touch it. I know some touchscreens are doing that now. This one does not do that, but it still has the backup camera, So that's standard. Like I said, it is Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream the old-fashioned way. And I just really love this head unit. I'm glad Mitsubishi put it in the Outlander Sport because it does deserve it. It's a great product and it deserves a great head unit, and this is definitely it. So moving down below, you have the automatic climate control, and going back up, because I forgot, I glossed over this last time. So they redesigned this little panel here that had the hazards, and over here was the passenger airbag and the passenger side seatbelt minder. So they redesigned all of that to give it a little bit more streamlined look. You do get this carbon fiber looking surround here. You also get these automatic climate controls, and then below that you get what I think is the biggest improvement on the interior. Not my favorite, but it is the biggest improvement, and that is the USB ports are now more accessible. They're no longer buried in this center storage here. The heated seats look like they belong here. I know before they had these weird protrusions that came down off to the sides, and it looked like they were just thrown there. The traction control button is here, and your power outlet is there. So overall, it just makes it look a little bit more cohesive. It looks less afterthought, like, oh shit, we forgot to do this. It looks more, you know, designed this way. I really like it. And you still get your little storage area here for cell phones, iPods, thumb drives, just junk that you accumulate in vehicles. We all do it. We all accumulate junk in our vehicles. Up here is where the four-wheel drive switch will go. This SE is a front-wheel drive model, but if you do get the all-wheel drive model, it'll go here and you'll be able to select between two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive auto, and four-wheel drive lock. So the same drive modes that we've had since 2011 and you all are familiar with. There's also this cool diamond pattern material here. It's like a plastic, but the engraving, I don't know how to describe it. It's textured, so it's not like a flat piece of glass. It's actually textured with this design. It's pretty interesting, and you see we have a new gear shift, so we don't have that circular pod that used to be here. We now get a new gear shift surround with this piano black insert and chrome. I like it, and one of the things that I do like is since Mitsubishi has taken away our manual shift capabilities via paddle shift and via the shifter stalk, they gave us a DS mode now, and the Outlander has had this since 2014, and I really feel like this is a sufficient replacement for the paddle shifters. A lot of consumers did not like them. They did not know what they were used for. They thought they were silly. They thought they were not needed in a vehicle like this, and the DS mode just raises the RPM and makes the CVT a little bit more responsive. So like if you're passing a slower moving vehicle, or if you're going up hills or down hills, you can use that DS mode. It makes the vehicle a little bit more responsive, and I think that's more adequate for a vehicle in this price range and of this style. At the end of the day, it's not a sports car, it's not an Evo, so a lot of consumers and myself personally felt that they were a little bit overkill, and that DS mode definitely makes up the difference. And so they continue the redesigning down to the cup holders. They're a little bit cleaner and streamlined into the design. The center console lid is longer, so no longer do you have that sliding contraption with the small surface area. You get this nice longer. It's also taller, so it's way more easier to get comfortable in this vehicle. Lifting it up, you get the same storage tray that's been in the Outlander since 2014, so you can store your iPods, change, wallet, cell phones, anything like that. You lift that, there's another power outlet, and the USB and the aux ports are now gone. They used to be here on these little raised portions over here, but since they're on the center console now, they are gone out of here. So, and then there's more. I just love these seats. I can't get over these seats. They are amazing. Like, I love them. They're great. And then coming over here to the center console, I mentioned this in my last video. You get this new portfolio along with floor mats. So you can store like cards. When you get done with finance, you can store your finance information in this. I'm not going to remove the plastic. I'm going to let the customer do that. Maybe I'll do a separate video, like an unboxing video, since those seem to be all the rage on YouTube. And I'll unbox one and, you know, show you just what it looks like. But you can put your finance papers, the card of your salesman in here. I think it also has like a place for like a tire gauge, like a AAA card and stuff like that in it. So it's really cool. It says Mitsubishi Motors. Yes, I'm probably still gonna order me one so I can look like a Mitsubishi official carrying around my Mitsubishi Motors portfolio. But I definitely like that. It's, you know, it's the little things, and I really like it. It's really cool. So that's pretty much it. No major changes to talk about. Like I said, I already mentioned they dropped the GT for the 2018 model year. We won't have that coming back with us. Everything will just be repackaged into the SCL trim level. But yeah, I definitely would love to know what you guys think about this interior upgrade, because that's mainly what it is. I felt like Mitsubishi should have done this a couple of years ago. I think they're a little late to the game, but as I said in one of my previous videos, or even this one, better late than never, because it definitely feels and looks a lot more modern in here, and it looks and feels more like the price that they're asking for it. I think this one stickers at about $24,000 because it's front wheel drive and it is an SE. And honestly, I feel like that's reasonable with all this equipment that you get and this beautiful touchscreen, and these awesome seats. I love these seats. They are awesome. These need to go in everything that Mitsubishi makes. I don't care what it is. I love them. So yeah, I definitely feel like that it's more along, you know, paying $24 is a lot more reasonable with these upgrades. I definitely love this touchscreen a little bit more than I like the one that they use for the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and the limited editions. Just because this is a lot clearer, it's a lot more snappy. It's all flush. It's one piece of glass, and I like that. And the screen isn't inset like on those models. It's only 6.5-inch screen, and it's inset. So like there's buttons over here, and then the screen juts in at like, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 millimeters, but I like how this is nice and clean and just one single piece of glass. Love it. So yeah, like I said, I'd love to know what you think of this vehicle. Let me know in the comment section below. If you have any questions, you can always give me a call at Sims Mitsubishi. Our telephone number is 330-722-8000. I look forward to the comments and the conversations below. Thanks, guys.